This is the Mark Crowley Radio Show on KNUS News Talk 710. Reach Mark now at 303-696-1971. To hear the Mark Crowley Radio Show streaming live worldwide, log on to markcrowley.com.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Mark Crowley Radio Show, News Talk 710 KNUS, AM 1650 KNUS2, streaming live on the World Wide Web at markcrowley.com. Hour number 2 underway on a beautiful Sunday afternoon in Mile High America. Denver Broncos taking on the New England Patriots tonight on NBC for the Sunday night game, so you want to be sure to tune in for that. But for the next hour, you got to stay right here because there's no football that you need to be watching right now other than just staying right here on News Talk 710 KNUS. If you've noticed lately, there are a lot of clinics popping up around the country advertising the ability to sort of focus on rejuvenation, making yourself beautiful, the laser hair removal, the skin rejuvenation, and all these different terms that you hear. It's a little more dangerous than you might think at first glance. And we're going to talk about that today because I'm in studio with an expert who will really help us shed some light on some of the issues around that and some of the experiences that she's had, and as a result have really helped a lot of people recover from very serious injuries from what appeared to be very simple procedures. And we're going to be giving away an opportunity for you to win what is called the Not So Extreme Makeover. So you're going to want to stay tuned in the next couple of segments for that. In studio with me is Pam Good. She is a certified medical esthetician. That's easy for me to say. And she's here to talk about that today. And I think it's a very interesting topic, so you want to stay tuned. Pam, first of all, welcome. Glad to have you today.
Thank you, Mark.
What's causing this? What is this trend? Why are we seeing it so much? Because a few years back, it was something that was, at a destination spa. That was the only place that you could ever get it. And now, almost on any street corner,
sure,
you can get these things done to help rejuvenate and make yourself beautiful. Talk a little bit about the evolution of this whole skin rejuvenation, laser hair removal, that sort of thing.
Sure. I've been doing this for about 24 years, and I've watched the industry change quite a bit. And what I've noticed mainly in the last 5 years is that there are a number of people just getting into the business and not really understanding everything that's involved. It's not just about getting a license by the state. Most people don't have the extra training that it really requires in order to do some of these treatments, such as chemical peels, laser hair removal, and other procedures that really should be supervised by a doctor or definitely someone that has the certifications and things like that.
Well, and from what I understand, most states require that. Most states require that doctors be involved. But I understand that Colorado is a little bit unique on the other side. Talk a little bit about that.
Right. Colorado basically does not require a doctor to be on staff as long as the esthetician or skincare specialist has the additional education. They are able to do the treatments, but there are some people that are just out of school and they are performing these treatments and they really should not be.
And in 99.9% of the cases, it's fine.
Right.
It works out great, and you walk into the clinic and you come out and you're very happy with the results. But in those small numbers of cases, which are actually growing,
right,
proportionally it's a
sure,
small case, but what do they say about minor surgery is an operation that happens to somebody else.
Right.
So, but if it can be very devastating. You showed me some amazing pictures. I saw some video of people who were severely burned and disfigured in amazing ways from doing these things that we think are very, very simple.
Right.
So it's a lot more in depth than we think about. I had the opportunity last year, or I guess it was earlier this year. I met a doctor from New Jersey who had moved out west, and he's an internal medicine specialist. And one of the aspects of his practice is a lot of these techniques for skin rejuvenation, laser hair removal. But what was interesting about his philosophy is that he would never allow a single one of those procedures to take place unless he himself was at the controls. And I thought that was unique, and so that really kind of is unique, especially in our community.
Definitely.
So you do it now.
Yes, I do.
Your clinic, Good Skin Matters, in Highlands Ranch, basically, over at County Line and Colorado Boulevard. We'll talk a little bit about your location a little bit. But what led you into doing this? Why do you want to do this?
The reason why I do this, it's actually a personal reason. In high school, I was breaking out a lot and had scarring from acne. And so in high school, I actually started working with, professional makeup artists and photographers, and shortly after decided to get my license. And so what drives me is the fact that I see too many injuries. I've repaired a lot of different things. I was on Channel 9 News with chemical burns victims and laser hair removal. And I just think that awareness needs to be out there for the consumer, and that's basically what brings me here.
And really, your background, I've known you for a long time, and you really care about other people, and I think that's a key aspect of it. But really, this is a scenario where you don't want to focus on repairing. You want to just do it right the first time, because there's a great book, and I recommend that everyone read it, Maxwell Maltz, Psycho-Cybernetics. And Maxwell Maltz was a plastic surgeon, and he learned a great deal about how people react when their external appearances are changed. Some reacted positively, some didn't react at all, but it's amazing how much of a personality shift there can be if you can make some of these changes. And the idea is, hey, let's get it done the right way so you're not emotionally scarred on top of having all of these other issues. So let's talk about a little bit about looking for the right person. Someone, they'll call you, and I want to give you your phone number right now, too, by the way, 303-716-0115. That's a number that you want to remember for two reasons. One is that's going to be the number we're going to use to register for the contest that we're giving away in the next segment, but also just to call you and get some of those questions answered about how this should happen, the right way to do it. So let's just say that someone's listening to us, maybe they're up north and they're looking for an esthetician or someone who does microdermabrasion or laser hair removal. What should they be asking people?
I would say know what your goals are, first of all. When you go in, basically have a list of questions that you would want to ask. First of all, their experience, their schooling. Just make sure that they've done hundreds of these techniques and treatments. Make sure that their equipment is the top of the line. There's equipment out there that, someone can go buy a machine, a microdermabrasion machine for $3,000, and it processes baking soda. So you really need to make sure that, the equipment is top of the notch and that the person that's doing the treatment knows what they're doing. So
it really does boil down to equipment and experience.
Absolutely.
And at least close supervision or some oversight by a true expert. If you are maybe a little bit newer in the process, at least make sure that there's someone around who really has their hand on the system.
Definitely, and I would also encourage anyone that's getting into the skincare industry, don't rely just on the license to practice. Make sure that you're protecting the public by getting the additional education that's required.
So let's talk about a couple of case studies. My guest is Pam Good, and her clinic is Good Skin Matters, located over at 8230 South Colorado Boulevard, just off of County Line and Colorado Boulevard in Highlands Ranch. A couple of the profiles that you had on 9 News and on Channel 2, talk about those cases just briefly, just to kind of give an overview of what happened to those two ladies.
The gal that had the chemical peels, she was going to the same clinic weekly to have these chemical peels done. And every time she would go in, the process did not work. Well, after about, I think it was 12 months, she said that she went in one last time, and they said, this will be the one. This will be the time that all of those cells will actually come off. Unfortunately, as a result of all these chemicals for that long period of time, the only part of her face that would move would be just her chin. She was like a puppet. And her skin was very leathery and very dark brown, almost a purplish tint. And so I met her, and she was very reluctant to allow me to try to help her, but she finally did. And within 3 treatments, she had more pliability to her skin. The purple had gone, and so we gently, with the microdermabrasion and the photorejuvenation, we were able to remove the damaged and the dead cells with the microdermabrasion, and then we were able to stimulate healthy cells from underneath with the photorejuvenation.
So we're going to take a break. My guest is Pam Good, and when we come back, I want to talk about the second case as well, and then we're going to talk about how you can avoid that in the first place, and then give something very special away from Good Skin Matters. We're going to take a break here on News Talk 710 KNUS, AM 1650, KNUS2, and on the World Wide Web at markcrowley.com. Don't go away. Stay right there. We're coming back. We are back. News Talk 710, KNUS, AM 1650, KNUS2, on the World Wide Web at markcrowley.com. The Mark Crowley Radio Show every Sunday from noon till 2, bringing you Sunday afternoon mental floss, cleaning out that 6 inches between your ears so you can be successful in everything that you do. And we're focusing this segment on an issue that's become very popular, and that's skin rejuvenation, laser hair removal, all those sorts of things. But there are some terrible consequences if you're not careful. My guest today is Pam Good. Her clinic, Good Skin Matters, over at 8230 South Colorado Boulevard at County Line Road. And you can take a look at her website, goodskinmatters.com. And we're talking about how to do it the right way. And when we left for the last break, we talked a little bit about one of the patients that she's been treating who had microdermabrasion. And Pam, share the second case with a businessman who had plastic surgery and some of the consequences of that and how you're working with him to repair that.
Sure. This prominent business owner in Cherry Creek came to me. Actually, his wife asked me if I could come to their house because he was not very happy about leaving his home. He had plastic surgery, and something went wrong with the surgery, and his skin basically, as it was healing, split. And so it's kind of like it looked like webbing. And so the skin coloration was off, and so he had a lot of purple and white and the scars. He had gone back to the doctor to see if they could repair it. They could not. And through microdermabrasion once again, and the photorejuvenation and the non-surgical lift that I do, I've been able to even out the skin tones. I've been able to smooth out the scars. It's not gone yet, but now he actually comes to my office rather than feeling uncomfortable and going to his home.
So those are a couple of examples of how well-intentioned things can just go terribly wrong. And I just want to emphasize that that's usually not the case. It usually doesn't happen that way. But people going in for these procedures just need to be aware that those are possibilities and to make sure that you're going to the right people. So let's talk a little bit about Good Skin Matters now, sure, because you've got an extensive background. Go over your background one more time, and then let's talk about some of the different services that you offer, and we'll talk about what you've described as the extreme makeover, and then versus the not so extreme makeover.
Okay. Goes back 24 years. I actually received my licensing in 1987 and my medical certifications in 1992. I went to the Skincare Institute and the Aesthetics Institute of Colorado as my additional education, and there I'm a paramedical and medical skincare specialist and acne specialist. And I've actually owned a day spa up in Salida called Pam's Place. That was a couple of years ago, and came back to Denver and changed the name from Pam's Place to Good Skin Matters, and just really enjoying the area and getting out there and meeting new people and
well, and I think kind of the fun aspect of this whole conversation we're having is that the technology has evolved to the place where the price has come down. It's affordable for everybody. It's no longer a luxury where you have to go to a destination spa or maybe on a cruise ship. That's the only time that you would see it. It literally is available to the average person now, and you're certainly working in that arena to really help people look the best that they can be. So talk a little bit about some of the services that you offer at Good Skin Matters and in comparison to what would be referred to as those extreme makeovers.
Sure. I do relaxing facials, microdermabrasion, photorejuvenation, non-surgical lifts, and endermology, which is FDA approved for reducing cellulite. So all of the treatments that I do can be done from head to toe. And referencing the invasive methods, that would be surgery, cutting, burning, injecting, scraping, peeling, which all force the cells to react. And a lot of times the end result of that is shiny plastic-looking skin, whereas the non-invasive method would actually, create the firming and the toning of the skin gently and removing the skin, only the damaged and the dead cells, more so than like with laser or chemical peels. Those methods don't know, where to stop. Mm-hmm. They will continue to get into the healthy cells, and whereas the non-invasive methods only go through the damaged and the dead cells. So,
and that's a big difference. And I think that just listening to you say that, I think the key difference is the invasive procedures probably force you to hibernate for a while till you kind of recover, whereas the non-invasive, you can come right out of the clinic and go back about your business.
That's right. Absolutely.
So one of the things that you're doing here for our listeners today and giving them an opportunity to experience this, I want two things to happen. One is I want them to register for a drawing that you're going to be given. It's a $500 value.
It is. For
the Not So Extreme Makeover. So we want folks to either email you. They could email you at pam@goodskinmatters.com, or most appropriately, I think, is to call 303-716-0115 and register. And the drawing's going to be sometime in October.
It is.
So we want people to log on and get that taken care of. But most importantly, I just want people to get to know you a little bit better. Come in and talk about maybe kind of the first visits. When someone comes in, obviously you're not going to just say, okay, this is what we're going to do and get right at it. So talk a little bit about it, because I know that you're very good at hearing what they need, what they want, and what their desires are.
Exactly. I have a machine that's called the Dermoscope. It utilizes medical black light with magnification. And with this machine, I can see deep into the skin, and we can see dehydration, hydration, we can see bacteria if there's a situation with acne, we can see what it's caused by, if it's hormonal, if it's stress, and even product that might be agitating the situation, and things like that. So
maybe something as simple as some kind of makeup they're using or some kind of a lotion may be reacting with them as an individual, that it could literally be as simple as, hey, stop that, and then everything will be okay.
Definitely. Yeah, there are a lot of products out there that are available in the drug stores that are very good. It's just looking at the ingredients, and I've done this a really long time. I'm an expert in ingredients and knowing what's going to work with the skin and being able to see with this medical black light what it's actually doing. Some people can use soap. Some people can't. There's just a lot of different things out there. There's professional products. They last long, last longer. You can use one bottle of a professional product where you've used 4 that you've bought at the store because of all the fillers.
So could somebody, if they call you to make an appointment and come in for a consultation, maybe they should bring the stuff that they're using, because that'll kind of give you an idea of maybe what they've been doing up till now.
Definitely. And one thing that they need to realize as well is that when they receive their product, that the box may be the only thing that has the ingredients on it. So you throw away the box, you have problems, you try to find out what it is in that product that's causing problems, and it's not on the bottle. So it's always good to, before you change a skincare product, to look at the ingredients, have a professional help you with that, and then determine, if it's going to be a good product or not.
So we're running out of time here, Pam. I want to give our listeners the information one more time. 303-716-0115 is the number to call, and you can register for the drawing for the Not So Extreme Makeover, which will take place in October, worth $500. And keep that number handy, because I really suggest that you just give Pam a call and get some information, get some education, because as when I looked at those videos that you showed me from Channel 2 and Channel 9, it really became apparent that these were people who just were trying to do the best that they could and went a place they thought they could trust, and it just went terribly wrong. So the key is get the right information, ask the right questions, and as you say, don't be afraid to ask those hard questions.
Exactly.
All right, we're going to take a break here. My guest, Pam Good, Good Skin Matters, the website, goodskinmatters.com, 8230 South Colorado Boulevard at County Line, 303-716-0115. And be sure you told her when you call her.
I hope you enjoyed the video previously recorded. Wanted to give you updated phone number, 719-371-5126, and the email is gsmbeautycollection@gmail.com. And remember, enjoy your beautiful day.